the best, and we're looking like one of the best teams in the league right now. The best podcast in the world.
Yeah, they squabbling out there now. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good drop right there, Sky. Skywalker Steele, John Machota, Laws with us in spirit. Guys, what team is this? My goodness, how are we doing today? We got a lot to talk about. We got a jam-packed show for you guys, another quirky week. So we're just going to give you guys this show. We're going to try to get a lot in. We're going to talk about the Lions. We're going to talk about the Chiefs and recapping that game. And then honestly, guys, just win, baby. So we guys see it on the screen, but what episode is this? 70?
Man, we need log. Or Toxic Tom, what episode we on, bruh?
Yeah, it's like probably 76, 77, somewhere in there.
Give me a good 76. Flozell.
I'm waiting for Tyron Smith. Well, I like the Flozell though. Hotel Flo. Was it Hotel Flo or Flozell the hotel? Like that.
He was a really good player, Sky.
Absolutely. If he, I think towards the end of his career, I want to say he went to like the Ravens or something weird. But if the ear thing, you guys remember he was deaf in one ear.
I do.
If that wasn't an issue, maybe I don't want to say Hall of Famer, but very close. Flozell was so steady, man. Very, very steady.
2015.
Greg Hardy. Sorry.
Oh my God, John. That is not the D tackle we want on this team right now.
I got a confession though. I ain't gonna. I was desperate, y'all. I was desperate in 2015, and when they signed Greg Hardy, I just tried to find the positives in it, man. I did, but then once you get older, you realize, oh wait a minute, that was bad. That was real bad. Like what went down, but I was desperate at the time.
I'm gonna add my name to that list, bro, because I thought he would come in and be a player, and it was
Hardy was actually good.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad player.
No, he was actually good, but he was a bad person.
About it though.
Terrible person. So he's the anti Quinnen Williams. Quinnen leader, quoting him. He wasn't that.
I'm honestly like, we're not even talking about kind of maybe having a chance to get in the playoffs if the Jets just had enough money to pay Micah Parsons. Because this whole deal could have been done before the season started.
Don't do it to me,
Williams week 1.
Don't do it to me, John.
Why?
We got clarity on that. Did you see that?
What's that?
A lot of people were under the assumption that, Jerry offered Micah and a 1 for Quinnen Williams. When I think he clarified today, it was no, we'll offer you Micah, but we want Quinnen and a 1 from you.
Yeah, that's fine. Listen to the audio of Jerry saying it last week. It was very clear. Like, and he was trying to put emphasis on it and even repeated it that they were going to give a 1. And his following sentence after that was because that's how much we thought of Quinnen. Like, you would not sit there and say, well, we want Jerry and a 1 from Micah. Like, and so I think he got it twisted, to be honest with you. And then it was like, oh, I got to clarify that I was wrong in that. But he really wanted to emphasize that how much they wanted Quinnen Williams at the time, which, hey, obviously, you wouldn't have had Kenny Clark, but you would have had Quinnen Williams. And I don't think they give them a 1. I think that they probably get a 1 or 2 back with them, just because of age and everything. But yeah, it's crazy that they couldn't have made that work in New York. But also from the standpoint of that's exactly where you'd want to send him. AFC, the Jets.
I would have pressed so much harder, man. I would have pressed so much harder. Perfect.
Yeah.
Even if you get their second back, you get a high second, probably top 3 pick in the second round. But man,
no, I completely agree, John. But it worked out how it worked out. Here we go. Literally, he's in the building. Hey, John, what's going on? Here's Johnny. It's a lot. I feel like
a lot, bro.
Players may not play. Players might play. My favorite player is on the way back. Diggs. Let's talk about it, bro. Let's roll.
I love you, Foots, because you're really leading into it.
I'll say this. If I'm predicting right now, I don't think Diggs plays, and I have doubts about Clowney too. It's a hamstring. I know it is technically a full week because they played on Thursday, but just the way he was moving after the game, and then just everything going forward. You mess with that and have a setback, and then now all of a sudden he's missing 2-3 games. Man, that one. They say it's a game time decision with both, and maybe it will be. Maybe JW feels great when he's warming up on Thursday, But right now, if I had to pick, I'd say that him and Diggs don't play Thursday. But outside of that, I mean, no Guyton. But I think with the way Nate Thomas played, I think that one's a little bit easier to handle than Clowney, because Clowney was obviously playing at a high level. And you obviously want to have him back because you don't have great depth at the end right now. And so those would probably be the biggest injury ones, because even with George, I mean, he has the calf/knee, and he was limited yesterday, but then he was a full go today. So shouldn't be anything there. But one thing I wanted to point out before we get into breaking all this stuff down, something that I've been thinking about is, so I tweeted this out, between CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, they have drawn 15 pass interferences. There's no other team in the league that has 15 pass interferences. And the next highest team, I think, has 13. So the Cowboys lead the league. They've drawn 17. And so they were calling them a lot, and they have been calling them a lot. But they might not call them in this game, because you just don't know. Like, officials to officials from game to game, and with how physical Detroit plays, that's one of my biggest things I'm interested to see in this game, is what the officials allow Detroit to get away with. Because if they're calling it like they've called it these last couple of games, they'll wreck them. But if they don't, do they then get frustrated? You know what I'm saying? Because CD said it himself a few days ago, like, yeah, that's what happens. Either I'm gonna catch the ball or I get interfered with. And don't get me wrong, it happens a lot. But I think a lot of, like, the Myles Garretts and the Micah Parsons and the Aiden Hutchinsons think that, well, yeah, if you stop me from getting the quarterback, I'm getting held. Doesn't mean they get called for holding all the time. So that's one part of this game that I'm very interested to see how it goes, because it's tough to get through a game where CD or George aren't getting,
But let me interject there on that, the difference, because you're rushing the passer a lot, maybe 40 times a game, depending on the game, right? So, and Micah or Myles may rush it 35 times. You're not getting 35 targets. You may get that type of decision that has to be made 3 times in a game, right? At most, maybe 2 times. I like if they don't want to call it, cool. Because if they set the precedent earlier, you're going to let George Pickens be physical at the catch point? Fine by me. You're going to let CeeDee Lamb be physical at the catch point? Fine by me. So I think they're damn if they do, damn if they don't.
CD that could get frustrated on that? Because I've seen a CD that'll get frustrated on that.
Not on that.
George, no, but CD will get frustrated on things like that.
I'm more worried about him getting frustrated, dropping the ball, not getting the ball, the offense sputtering, than I am him getting held and getting back to the huddle and being pissed and pissy and whiny, and it's affecting him. I'm more worried about the other thing.
I will also maintain, though, if you put DNs on an island like that, where you're outside and there's nobody else really around you, it's just a DN and a tackle, the way that a wide receiver goes against a DB, a lot more of those holdings would be called. But they allow a lot of stuff to go, because it's kind of, there's a bunch of guys, they're all together, and they'll be like, yeah, there was a double, this guy got chipped and stuff. When you're just out there on an island and it's in front of the entire stadium, everybody can see it, that's the other thing that leads to drawing those. Because let's be honest, when you have those 2 wide receivers, I mean, honestly, you should probably just throw it up to them as many opportunities as you can, because they're going to win more often than not, whether they come down with the ball, they get called for the flag. But it just, I don't know, anybody that's watched the NFL, not just NFL, football, college, whatever, you just know that refs from game to game, it's not like it's consistent every single game. Like, that is a holding week 1 with this crew, like it will be holding week 7 with that crew. Like, it's
facts.
It all depends on, like, how it's called, and so that's one area of this game that I'm interested to see, because it's been a big part for the Cowboys, no question.
I think with this cornerback room specifically that we're about to see, with no Terrion Arnold.
Oh,
secondary,
nobody likes getting a good DPI more than Terrion Arnold.
Oh yeah, he's been a disappointment for them. Actually,
he's grabby, that's for sure.
But even like Rocky Sin, when they played against the Eagles, he had that late penalty that basically ended the game.
Oh yeah, no, their secondary's in trouble. Believe me, it's not good.
Yeah, and they up. And with Kelvin Shepherd, he wants to play man coverage. So
yeah,
the problem is, I'm kind of in agreement with Sky that, bro, they are gonna struggle running with our guys. I mean,
oh yeah,
like they were to struggle with Terrion, it's gonna be bad without.
Yeah, they don't have a crazy rush.
As if they were 100% healthy, because you have Branch and Kirby Joseph and then all those guys, but like they're not even close to being that.
That's the guy that's out, right? Branch is
he's on the injury report. I heard.
Yeah, he hasn't played well at all this season.
My mistake.
Joseph, he has out. Yeah. Well, at least it looks like he's going to be out. Yeah.
Yeah. Arnold is the one who's struggled.
Blitzy team too. They're going to need their offense to kick it into gear.
Yeah, we'll definitely get in that. Hey, I want to talk about something that speaking of George Pickens, I want to talk about. Did you have anything else on the ground, real quick, John? Any other notes?
No, that's pretty much about it. In terms of like, obviously you would expect the talk around the facility is a lot of playoff talk. I mean, you win those back-to-back games in 5 days. You're beating both teams that were in the Super Bowl. It's the two franchises that have won the last 3 Super Bowls. They've won 5 of the last 8. I mean, to do that in 5 days. That's impressive. I don't care what the teams look like now compared to the beginning. To do that in that short of a time, crazy. So that's a lot of the talk in the building is about how they're not looking ahead, how that they felt like they were already in the playoffs 3 games ago, that they already know that this isn't changing anything. And so now I think it's kind of shift to now you got to show that you can win one on the road too, which that's the next challenge for them, obviously. But injury wise, that's just about it.
I got a boots on the ground for you, John.
Yeah.
We heard Steven, I think, and Jerry now. This is very interesting. Publicly come out and talk about the Cowboys can, and I don't know if they said will, but sounds like they are trying to keep all 3 defensive tackles next year at the price and salaries, and they're talking about monies without bringing up the term pie, right? They're not using it right now in November or December as an excuse. So I said on Twitter, I said, that's awesome. Just don't use it as an excuse not to stay aggressive. I do wonder what that looks like. It's an off-season question, I know y'all, but they did bring it up. And when I say I wonder what that looks like, does that look like a potential extension from a Quentin Williams? I think Kenny Clark is likely going to have to be extended because of the cap number there, and you know how they feel about that. So I do wonder what that looks like. I also wonder twofold here. If they keep Matt Eberflus next year, I do think he's going to have to be a little bit different than what he's traditionally been in his career, because this is different. When you have 3 defensive tackles, you're going to have to be a little bit more unique or creative in how you utilize them for 17 games, not just, hey, I got these dudes for 8 games. Let's just figure it out. You know what I mean? So I was just thinking about that today.
Yeah, no, and I think that there will have to be some type of, salary cap, maneuver that to happen. No doubt about it. Also could be Jerry just talking BS. That I'll just say that right now because everything's going well. Let's not mess with it. The thing they'll be really telling is like, even if they don't win out, and let's say they don't win out and don't make the playoffs, but they only lose 1 more game and they just barely miss the playoffs, that means you would end the year like winning 7 of your last 8 games. I find it very hard to believe that they would want to not try and bring as much of that back as possible, whether it's Eberflus, those D tackles, whatever, keep that nucleus together. And the fact that they're not paying Micah now, I don't see why you can't do it. The only thing where it could impact things is maybe you don't get something done with George long-term, like he's under the franchise tag or something. But I just don't see them with the way things are going right now, allowing, anything to mess up what they have right now with that defensive line with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. So they can make something work. There's always something that can be done. They can restructure contract. They can do something. And then they're also not paying their DNs anything. They have all these 1-year, Dante Fowler, Jadeveon Clowney's, Donovan Ezraku on a rookie deal. You're not paying your DNs like a lot of teams are. And so that's the other part, because I could see them using one of those first-round picks on a DN and then doing the same exact thing in that next offseason, whether it's like, the Fowler Clowney type where it's a 1-year deal where it's not really expensive and it's the rotation of 3-4 DNs where they're like, we don't have to be great at DN because, we have these defensive tackles and they do more of the 5-man front stuff. Again, this is all predicated on that things keep going the way that they're going right now. If all of a sudden some teams start figuring out, hey, when they do that 5-man front, you just do this, this, and this, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work, well, then they might adjust. But if this keeps this thing rolling, I don't see how they wouldn't run it back.
Yeah.
I would like to keep all 3, me personally. Even if it's not, I don't know, defensively, we could talk about it in the offseason, but
I'm a big behind the scenes guy though too. They're all wired the right way. That's what I like about them too. Like I'm telling
And
you,
that's big. I mean, that's why people listen to this show, John.
That defense has a lot of the right kind of guys.
RKGs are back.
I think
everyone thinks it's like a Garrett thing, but I'm talking about like,
no, that's real.
When I think of right kind of guys, I think of the guys where it's like all the coaches are gone, other players and stuff, but you just get on it yourself because you're just, hey, this is my profession. So you don't need to tell me about working out. You don't need to tell me about showing up on time. You don't need to tell me about watching film. You don't need to tell me about being ready on game day. You know, stuff like that. Like they got a lot of guys in that defense that are wired the right way.
Right kind of guy should have never been a mock made fun of because it's real. We watched the Cowboys select guys who weren't RKGs, and we get the boss man Fats. You get the Tristan Hills. You get the Randy Gregory's. Granted, great player, whatever in regards to Randy. No, all jokes aside, you waste picks. High picks. Not going with the right. I'm done with that. I'm done with these risky red flag. Ignore it because done. Give me a dude who loves the game and who loves the game when they're not in the facility or when the coaches are not around or when they're at the crib. Give me that guy.
Absolutely. I got a boss man fat and a fat rat today. That's
if y'all want to know why we were late, we were talking a little college football and I put in our group chat a kid, Davon Brown. Anybody in the DMV may know about him. He played on a team I coached in. He's from the 757 Richmond area. And they call him Fat Rat, but he flipped to.
How do you get that?
Tag. Honestly, his dad. I don't know how Rat got that name.
Boss man fat, and you're not.
That was a rap name.
An overweight rapper.
You know, I'm gonna tell you something.
There used to be big dudes, Italian mobsters named Tiny, though. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, I can see going around that way. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something about Boss Man. When I knew that he got kicked out of 2 programs, I said no. Want nothing to do
that's
with
what
him.
It did for me. It was wait.
This is before he was drafted too, bro. Nah, man.
Wait, he went back to the crib and recorded a whole album. He got we cool. We cool.
A whole album, Scott.
I'm good.
No, yeah. So yeah.
And look, do your extracurriculars, but when you say, "Hey, man, this is what I want to be," but I like football too. I'm cool. Go be that.
Go get a deal. And Iceberg, you're absolutely right. Richmond is, so let me say this, John, because Richmond is the 804, but I look at it as the 757 Tidewater. Because people think when they talk to DMV, the DMV is DC, Maryland, Virginia, but not Baltimore. It's not the DMV.
What's
certain
the
parts of Virginia?
People know. What's the main area? Like in Detroit, it's 313. What's the main area code for the DMV that people
202 and 301 and 240. Those are the three. 240,
John.
301. Yeah. And then now it's funny though. Baltimore is own thing. Baltimore is not the DMV. Baltimore is Baltimore.
Which is wild. It's not far away.
It's not. It's not. But it's people will tell you Baltimore is a whole. Charm City is his own thing. Love Baltimore. Shout out. And then the 757 in the 804 area, John, is Allen Iverson, Michael Vick. That's not the DMV either. But when you play and you travel, you meet good people, but it's not that they don't associate with the DMV. The DMV is PG County, Montgomery County, Virginia, Alexandria, DC. It's a whole thing, bro. But anyway,
a lot of up that way.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Warning all the kids, man. If you make it, Foot's gonna be on your ass if you don't get it right. I'm just saying.
Hey, I definitely am. You know I am. Speaking of which, I want to ask you this, John. And the Sky did a great piece on Clayton Adams. I listened to him talk. I actually listened to the interview twice. He says something. Yeah, shout out to Landover too, Iceberg. He said George Pickens is the player that when we look nervous. When I'm nervous, I look to. Did y'all catch that? Seriously.
He has so many gems in that joint, but go ahead.
Yeah.
You can talk about the other gems, but that's big for me, John.
Yeah, that's because he's talked before about how like he has to really like pull himself back to like enjoy the moment because he's just so intense. Clayton Adams is during game days and stuff like that he's not really even thinking about enjoying it. And so obviously just watch the way he plays. Obviously, George Pickens is enjoying himself. I mean, on top of the highlight plays, I mean, just some of the stuff that he does after the play, you can tell that like he's got entertainer in him too, you know?
Yeah. I just think that when we get into the playoffs, I'm gonna speak it, it's a difference between Brandon Cooks catching a slant, and George Pickens. Like, let's just pause. let's think about that. Think about it, right? If you really think about this for a second, Dak threw a pick in this Kansas City game, and we'll recap it. But it was like, all right, and he didn't go to George Pickens right away. But I remember things were going bad in that Packers game. And for the life of me, everybody played bad, but I remember saying, Brandon Cooks, you cannot let Jair Alexander just rough you off for the ball. That's not happening to George.
Another thing you said that we were on the same page too, because I know you don't want to get at your coaches. But why in the hell are you sending Brandon Cooks on a slant right there? That's
crazy work.
All year that year, we were like, why is Brandon Cooks being utilized like he is a traditional West Coast receiver? He's not. Yeah. And we were like, we need to get a bigger receiver in that situation. Another part of that game, Lamb was out of it, and we didn't have anybody to pick us back up. George Pickens can do that. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have right now. That's why I never understood.
Your bigger receiver. I made a trade in season for Jonathan Mingo. They did though.
Oh let me tell you something.
That was last.
Has he played a snap this year?
It's the same coaching staff.
He plays 3 snaps. Okay.
Let's not act like the Schottenheimer head coach thing was the plan all along. I mean, there were still plans even when the season ended.
John.
They traded for Mingo with Dak Prescott out for the season. Like what the?
I'm gonna tell you
something. However, they snuck into Pickens. Thank you, Lord God.
Pickens and Quinnen have made us forget the atrocities monstrosities that we had to deal with over the last few years from a personnel standpoint.
I do wonder if George sometimes, like I've thought about in the last few games, like who he would have went to because he wasn't staying in Pittsburgh, who he would have went to, and would he have had this success somewhere else? Because chances are, okay, where are they sending him to, and would they have a CeeDee Lamb on the other side with Dak Prescott at quarterback? I mean, like, so perfect even from that perspective, it's like it's great for both sides, like it's great for George too, that it's such an ideal situation for him.
I'm going to say no and no. Here's why. You have to have a quarterback who can handle. So like doing the research on it, you need to have a quarterback, number one, who's good. Dak is good. We spent you guys weren't on it, but me, Sky, and John were talking about Dak's development as a passer, certain throws he can make, the checks. Dak's coming to the line. If you're giving us a certain look, you're getting slant, whether it's a 1-step, 2-step. I don't care if I heard Clarence ask him, or whoever it was, ask three times, why is he running? George like, bro, basically what George was saying, I took it, they can't stop it.
It don't matter. And he's right. Because
it's
because they have multiple layers baked into it to where how you want to defend it, I don't have to go to pick. I can throw the damn ball to Turpin on the flat route, or I could throw it to the running back running it, or I can fake it one side and come out. There's plays. That's why I said I don't care if it's 2-man, 3-man, 4-man. Look, you're not going to be able to stop it. And then if you try to press me, well, we already have the connection where I'm not going to run the slant. If the play is designed to, okay, I'm pressing, you're pressing, single high. So you're worried about CD. I'll run this go on your ass. So there's so many things baked into it. I'm not trying to call him the perfect receiver, but he's impossible right now to defend because of Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb on the other side. It's impossible to defend him.
And then Scott, even it's so funny. CD had the quietest big game ever.
Bro, it's been like that all year. People forget he had 100 yards to start the season, like the first 3 games or whatever it was.
Bro, that 9-ball, it looked like that had a little bit of pressure. Bro, that was a dime. And CD ran right past it. Yeah, he ran right past the safety. The corner blitz came, but the safety still was off to where he could have turned and ran.
Field?
No, the one where CD laid hands.
51-yarder. They tried.
Yeah, was it down the middle of the field?
It was an edge.
Third. It was kind of the third of the field.
Oh, because the one I'm thinking of, that one deep ball towards the middle. I just thought it was funny because he threw up the Randy Moss, yeah.
Oh, he knew. Yeah, he knew.
They tried to disguise it, just like you said. He sees it. Dak sees it all. And I broke this play down on my last video. It was the perfect call by Shotty. I love how they utilize those guys opposite of each other. Shouts out to B. He sent me this earlier. The Cowboys are averaging almost 8 yards per play when CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are on opposite sides of the field, and that's cut in half when they're on the same side of the field. So when they're lining, and when they did it, they ran.
Say that again.
When CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are on opposite sides, Cowboys are averaging almost 8 yards per play.
Oh, okay.
When they're lined up on the same side, it's about 4.4 or something like that. But yeah, they tried to blitz the, Trent McDuffie, slide the safety over to pick up CeeDee Lamb. And the reason why the other safety couldn't get deep enough, because if they have to worry about George Pickens, he could have got deep enough to make it a little difficult. He couldn't, because when they motioned out Schoonmaker, they had to bump the coverage, and you got Leo Chenal and George Pickens in the slot. The safety can't leave him one-on-one. So the safety has to pay attention to it. It was a perfect call, perfect timing, blocked it up right. Shouts out to Javonte Williams, and then perfect delivery to CeeDee Lamb. Just, they's in a bag, man.
And to answer your question, absolutely, Scott, and to answer your question, John, I'm going to be real. The reason why I say it wouldn't have been like this anywhere else, maybe a few places who have, but the problem is this. George is a different guy, right? Like, let's make no mistake about it. So you need also the leader who can, hey, we got you. Hey, don't, George. I've heard that he's probably a little late to me. Hey, George, chill. Don't. It's been a few times where he wanted to go rogue. I'm pretty sure that it's been in a player or two. And CD, hey, CD, hey, George, we good. I got you.
That's the surprising thing to me. Not that we haven't seen CeeDee Lamb have these, moments on the sideline on the field, but we've seen George Pickens become a demon because of it on the field, and not in a good way. We literally see him punch people in the face. We've seen him cuss out coaches on the side. George Pickens, he's getting to the side, and he's woosah, and he's calm. He's just like, what do I have to trip for? At some point, he's coming to me. At some point, it's going to be there. And if it's not me, my man's is going to go off. So he's just in this zen, in this zone right now. And I hope to keep him around, because I don't know a reason why he would never not be this way here in Dallas, as long as Dak and Pickens are, or Dak and CeeDee Lamb, excuse me.
Yeah, and you could tell that they're having fun playing football together, bro. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, football is still a game. And last point about George. George is one of these players. It's not fake tough guy stuff. Like, he's not trying to be the other team's friend. When him and Marshawn Lattimore are going at it, that's real. He's been like that when he was at Georgia. Like, he has that competitive edge, but I think it's channeled a little bit better. And shout out to Shotty. I'll tell you this, if you want to talk about some scheme stuff, when they run those play action shots and those big crossers hit, and we see Ferg able to just leak out to the flats, or like there was a play where they used CD in motion and George took the coverage with him, and CD went right to the flats and he got 8 yards. Like, those little things are because when George Pickens is running, first of all, he's like a deer when he runs, bro. It's crazy. He does not look like he's moving fast, but he's pulling away from people. It's nuts, John.
Just some long strides, man.
Bro, John, did you see that at camp? Like, I didn't see him being like, he's fast, but he looks football fast. Like, wow.
I think it's the acceleration. Like when he takes it into the next gear, like, whoa, there you go. But he did run a 4.4 though, so it's not like he ever was slow.
4.4 athletes, guy. 4.4 athlete.
Yeah, he showed it at times for sure. But I didn't think it would be to this. I mean, it's night and day, like what these games are like compared to those training camp practices. There's only, the Cowboys defense actually looked good in some of those practices, and we saw them start the season, and they couldn't check anybody. So I look at training camp nowadays with the way that they are we are in kind of the load management era for the NFL too, when it comes to that stuff. And so line one for me is get through that bitch healthy. Honestly, like, especially when you have like veteran guys and stuff like that, especially like if this team that they look like they're going to have coming back, just get through that thing healthy, man.
Just get through it healthy. All right. Let's talk about this Chiefs game. And I just want to go around the room. I'll start. I thought that the Cowboys, and we'll just kind of recap in our own way, because we want to get to the Lions, and I got a unsung hero on offense and defense that I need from both of you guys. But just to talk about this Chiefs game, for me, I was waiting for the Cowboys to lose it. I'll raise my hand. I just feel like I haven't seen the Cowboys, and people say this in the same team. Bro, that's Patrick Mahomes. That's Andy Reid. That's Spags.
That's Patrick Mahomes throwing 4 touchdown passes. It's not like this. And Patrick Mahomes are like, well, yeah, he's got the knee and he's dealing with this or whatever like that. He was playing pretty well.
John, and to me, my biggest thing was you got to 3 minutes left in that game or whatever it was, and you were able to melt the game away. That was we said it, Scott. What did we say before the game? This is an X's and O football game.
Testing.
And Shoddy passed, and Eberflus passed the test at times. But I want to give this game to Shoddy for sure. I was very impressed with his plan. Clayton Adams with the run out of pistol. That's you right in my wheelhouse. So yeah. I just think for me, my biggest, in a way to kind of recap it was, bro, this team might be real. Like, I think that this team is real. I'll say it like this, John, and I'll let both of you guys go. At no point did I don't remember a Cowboys win like this under the Mike McCarthy era. Now, they did win 12 games, and you guys will probably find a win. But the Eagles, yes. You play the Eagles, Hurts. That's like your cousin that you beat in basketball because you know his move. You don't know these guys. I don't know the Chiefs like I know the Eagles. I can tell y'all that now, right?
On 3 days rest.
On 3 days rest, guy.
This Cowboys one of the Chiefs, I would say, for me, under McCarthy, it'd probably be that.
Seahawks or Lions? Lions, probably.
I was going to go with the Tampa Bay playoff game.
Oh, well,
you're going against the legend, but you're probably the better team, because we also got to remember where this thing's probably going for the Chiefs, which, that's got to factor in. Like, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And so that's just like that Bucks team. Like it was.
I don't see another loss on their schedule.
It was a good Bucks team, but it wasn't anything like great. But they balled.
Yeah.
And then playing at Tampa Bay and stuff. I don't know. I thought that was a good win for them. And
no, that's a good one.
The Seahawks won too, for sure.
Here's why I say that one for me.
Hold on. The Tampa Bay is a good one, because remember the first game of the year, they embarrassed us defensively, and then we embarrassed them offensively. That's a good one. 2 different teams though, but that's a playoff game. I thought more regular season. Maybe the Lions game wasn't even as clean. That was a controversial, weird game. I don't know. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. I'm sure there's one, but that's the Chiefs, y'all. Like,
that's why
out here.
For me, name a quarterback better than Patrick Mahomes
that we played in that stretch. Nobody. I mean, it's Pat.
Name one right now
that we want. Well, this quarterback's playing better,
but like overall body of work,
he just lost one. But
you can't.
Yeah, I don't know. Stafford, maybe.
Bro, the plays Mahomes was making. Bro, you heard Quentin Williams say it, like, bro, I thought I should have had 2-3 sacks, and I think he should have. But I'll give y'all the floor. I'm just saying.
That's one of his great strengths, no doubt. I mean, he's got great arm talent, but it's how tough it is to get him to not only get him on the ground, but get him to panic. Because even when he's like retreating, you just see the confidence. He's just like, calm down. I do this all the time. I'm not even close to being worried right now. So that's why. Yeah, if you break it down, probably Drake May is playing better right now, but I would rather face Drake May than go against Patrick Mahomes 100%. All day long,
100%.
I don't want to play Patrick Mahomes unless it's the Super Bowl ever again.
Right.
John, how'd you feel about the game? Or Skywalker?
Go ahead, John.
No, I was surprised, man. Like they played great. I did not expect them to play as well as they did, just because they've kind of been up and down, and to put together that 3rd straight win, the short time in between games, George wasn't obviously 100% healthy, but he was making big plays. And then really that the defense just kept carrying on with, to have Savone Ravel playing damn near every single snap. I didn't think that would come to that level. And then I think Overshown is getting even better, which is obviously huge for them. So yeah, it surprised me. I did not think that they would. I thought it would be a good game, don't get me wrong, but I just thought that the Chiefs are probably a little bit more desperate, I guess. And I thought that they would end up pulling that out, like that was their season. And to do that in that environment and to keep this whole thing going, like, I don't know how many teams you would even say are playing with more confidence than the Cowboys right now. Like, so New England,
maybe the Patriots, but
maybe Broncos. Like, there's not many. I can't think of any in the NFC. I did think that about the Rams up until this weekend. But yeah, that I tweeted right after the game when it was over that I was like, I don't know if the Cowboys will make the playoffs, but I don't know any team that would want to see them if they did.
Yep.
I mean, I'll give you a great scenario. Could you see them just barely getting in, and in the first round they have to play at SoFi? That would be a Cowboys home game against the Rams.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like you look at it as just like a 2 versus 7 or something like that. I don't even know if that can mathematically happen. I think it could, but that like something like that, you're just like on paper it might not look great, but if you look at the way the team's playing, you're like you'd love them in that matchup, you know?
Dude, I don't care who they play. If you think about what we're talking about, you're talking about a team that's going to be on an 8-game likely win streak, going to the playoffs with some dudes now on defense. It'd be different. What was I going to say here? Having drawn a blank. I'm sorry. Oh, so you brought up the Denver game, and I was thinking about this. I think we brought this up last week too. I said this is going to be a great test to Shotty. So I'm piggybacking off of you, Foots. Great test for Shotty to see if he learned from that game, because Kelvin Joseph and Spags are very similar in that they're very aggressive. They're going to blitz a lot. They're going to show you, 6-7 guys in the line of scrimmage. They change the picture. It is not an easy defense to diagnose and shred the way the Cowboys did, in my opinion. And I think a lot of that had to do with him learning from the Denver game, where he was a little bit more conservative. And I think they brought up on the broadcast about how, Shotty was telling Dak, hey, man, if you ever feel like I'm getting like that again, don't let me know. Let's not do that again. And I think the play we talked about earlier that pretty much summarizes that is backed up at the 9-yard line with 9 minutes left to go. You took a shot, a play action shot. You get a sack there, man. You're talking about being at the 1 or a safety or strip sack fumble. He took a shot to go win this thing and kept trying down there inside the 20 or whatever it was. So that's kind of the main takeaway for me is, we're learning, because how many times over the years do we come back and say, why are we still doing this? Why aren't we learning from our mistakes, or why aren't we adjusting or adapting? These guys seem to be adapting, not just game to game, but even within the game. And to switch to the other side of the ball, I don't know. So the Cowboys scheme is still very, I don't think, difficult for opposing teams. Hence why teams are scoring 9 out of the last 10 opening possessions. Teams have scored touchdowns or field goals. Like, they're scoring points because it's not a difficult scheme to prepare for. But to their credit, there's some adjusting happening, and you see it like in real time after those first 2 quarters. The Eagles and the Chiefs scored 5 touchdowns, straight touchdowns to start the games. 3 for the Eagles, 2 for the Chiefs. After that, 8 straight stops with Philly, 4 straight stops against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the game to me. Like that is the game. If the we've all have been asking all year, we just need stops. Like, I'm not even trying to be greedy anymore. Like, we don't get a bunch of turnovers. I'm not asking for a bunch of turnovers. We're not the Broncos going to get 8 sacks in the game. I'm not asking for it. Just, can they punt the ball? I just want them to punt the ball a couple times in a row to give the ball back to your offense. And this defense has done that the last 2 weeks. And if they can continue that train and slowly but surely get an uptick in turnovers and uptick in interceptions and sacks, then by the time you get, around that P word, playoffs, they now will not be a defense you want to see, right? We're not a team you want to see because they're resilient and the offense is the scariest part. But you want to hope it gets to that point where they're a defense you don't want to see because you got an interior rush that is ridiculous, and then you start getting turnovers at the back end.
Yeah, just got to stay healthy on defense. You got to have a healthy J.W. Clowney, healthy Donovan Ezaraku, because you're just not deep enough at DN to be. If you lose one of those guys, I don't love the depth there. Same thing with Overshown and some of those linebackers. I wouldn't love it if they. And then obviously we've seen as much as fans have wanted to see Wanye and Marquise Bell. There's a reason that the coaching staff has kept going with Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson. That's the best. Sure. That's the best tandem that they have on the roster. So that you got to have both those guys out there too. But yeah, if you do, man, the way that this thing's going, let's say Diggs does come back and is playing well, like you got to actually have a good defense from a team that we certainly were talking about how they were arguably the worst defense in the entire league. Outside of Cincinnati, they were the worst defense. So it is crazy to think that they could turn it around that dramatically by just adding a few players, and obviously the biggest one being Quinnen Williams.
Yeah, and I'd say this: if you continue to run the ball and you can stop the run, this team's gonna be hard to beat. They can run the ball, and it's not like they're Ezekiel Elliott level, 25 carries for one dude. No, but you can run the ball when you want to run the ball, and I
It's
think
complementary to the pass game. It's efficient, and that's not what we've had for a while for us.
No, bro, the run out of pistol, Sky, chef's kiss. That's coaching. And not only is that coaching, but you're using guys like Hunter Lupke. It's like, this is why you signed him. I know we probably want to get him the ball more, but hey, go dig out a linebacker. Go, like, you can jump in and out of these personnel packages, and it's hitting, and it's real, and it's, hey, shout out to the front office for drafting Tyler Booker.
You want Hunter to dig out a linebacker. What about Javonte Williams?
Bro, him and Pass Pro.
Where is this Pass Pro coming
from? Well, Clayton said it. Clayton was like, we knew it. Clayton said we knew it.
I still would put Breverspan forward and to do with Hunter didn't dig out nobody. He just got in the way. Shout out to him. But
hey, man, I like it. He blocking, man. I feel what
he can't block, bro.
Hunter can't block. Nah, I like Hunter as a
really random thought here, but just because you brought up Breverspan forward, I just wanted to say this. So Donovan Ezeraku is the guy on the team that most surprises me. Like, if you saw him walking by, you'd be like, no, that's like a really good defensive end. Like, the size of him, he just does not look like that. Flip side, Savon Ravel and Brevin Spanford, my God, like, those guys absolutely, like, they just look like they are professional football players. Like, just the size that they are built. Like, Ravel, talking to him today, there was a group of us like outside the locker room, and he legit has to be like 6'2", 6'3", like a legit. This isn't a faking, whatever. And then Spanford seems like he's like 6'6", 6'7". They love him. Like, he's not going anywhere.
Spanford?
Like, Spanford. What he brings on special teams on top of all that other stuff, like, man, like.
No, I listen, I wouldn't mind Spanford in there, but I like Hunter. I don't know, maybe just me.
I like Hunter as a skill player. Like, utilize him. Get the
you
ball
want somebody to go out there and just boom, just spank somebody.
Bro, I'm not even trying to be funny anymore. Hunter Lipke probably has the most awful blocks of the year, like, on film. Like,
you gotta send me. I didn't.
He olays probably every single game. He's olaying, and he doesn't put anybody on their ass. Like, now, Brevin Spanford.
Who was that? Who sprung that Malik Davis run?
They all did. That's why I said Hunter Lipke got in the way, but he didn't dig.
I thought the Malik Davis run was what's his name cheating.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, Chris.
No, I know. I get it, Scott, but I can't say he's a bad blocker. Maybe he is. I don't know.
I try to reserve from saying that, but bro, it's there. It's there. But
bad blocker?
He's not a good blocker. Whatever you want to call it.
I gotta push back.
He's not a good blocker.
Spanford is a dog. I gotta push back.
He would have put Nick Bolton in the dirt, dog.
hey, to be fair, Javonte got Nick a few times. But just because you have a bad block game, I mean, you a terrible.
No, not a game. Not a game.
2 or 3. Send me 2 or 3, Scott. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I'm interested in this too, because there's just, to me, to be honest with you, it's almost like Nate Thomas playing left tackle. It's just one of those things where I'm just like, I don't know. There's nothing bad that's really standing out.
What?
Is he pancaking somebody? No, but there's nothing really bad that's happening.
No. You didn't like Nate Thomas?
No, this game cool, but I'm talking about there's nothing bad that stands out with some of the other games. Y'all ain't watching the film then.
No.
I'm talking about Nate Thomas. Or you're talking about
Nate
Hunter Lipke.
Because if you watch the Jets game in the
he struggled.
Game,
yeah, talking
about Nate Thomas.
He's struggling in the Jets game. Yeah,
I
was talking about.
I thought you were talking about.
I don't look at. I can't sit here and say Spanford is a. I mean, everybody sees film differently, so I don't look at.
I got some players for you. Every game probably. I'm
with you. Hey, look, everybody has their. I know for me, we'll talk about it all.
It's not. And to me, it's not. No, I'm not even. It's not on him. I've said this. I've said this publicly on my show multiple times. This ain't even a him thing. This is I just think a misevaluation thing. They want him to be Lorenzo Neal. He's more John Kuhn / Juszczyk. Like, he's a pass.
But I'm gonna tell you right now.
It's not Lorenzo Neal.
I'm with you, Sky, but he's at a point where you shouldn't be going into game plans like, hey, how can I get Hunter Lipke the ball? Like, that's not.
You don't have to do that, but also he's best utilized in the way where he's actually touching the ball to do something after he touches.
So you like him, like huge check leaking out on the flat, stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, flats, running the ball. He's better than he like way better than blocking.
And I think that would be the case if you didn't have George Pickens and Flanois coming on.
You're misunderstanding me. I'm not saying we have to get him the ball. What I'm saying is Hunter Lipke is not a blocking running back fullback. He is a skilled player that struggles to be a blocker, but that's what he has to do because he's the only fullback we got.
You got to get it how you live.
You got to get it how you live.
Yeah, you got to get it how you live.
Well, they look at him as like this Swiss Army knife that they can use him in a ton of different ways, and so that's why they like him too. That to me is what I've gathered as the biggest reason they got the contract done with him before the season started. Because there's definitely stuff when you watch games, you're like, why did they feel a need that they had to get this contract done or whatever? But I'm telling you, like they look at him as
they put him back there on third downs a lot to chip and leak to the flats. I mean,
the chip blocking, that stuff's cool.
You talking more like a lead blocker.
Lorenzo Neal. I don't know if you know who Lorenzo Neal is.
I definitely know Lorenzo Neal. He's a dog. Bro, he was a come on, bro. I'm a historian of the game now. But that game. See, and it's funny because Shotty in his scheme is definitely like has some old school, has some new school.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good problem to have. I'm with you. He definitely could catch. He probably better catching than he is a block. But Span Ford is. Span Ford wants to take people.
Throwing out Greg Ironhead Hayward over here. I'm a student of the game.
Span Ford wants to.
He wants to embarrass.
He wants to finish you. Yeah, he's definitely. Let's do this. It's so funny. I was gonna say Lupke is my unsung hero, but who's everybody's unsung hero on offense? I like what Hunter Lipke does. I just think that he's just, where he's supposed to be. He's one of those unsung guys. And then even last game, I liked how Jake Ferguson, he almost made that play, leaking in the flat. That was nice. Who do you guys have as maybe an unsung hero on offense?
Kavontae Turpin for falling on that fumble.
There you go. That was mine.
That was wild. Like if you think about like how
right place, right time
could have gone without that and just the effort he put forth on that. That would probably be unsung. I mean, because it's tough because like can Tyler Booker be an unsung hero? You know what I'm saying? Like
that was my hope. I'm thinking like who. Because he dominated,
and you just factor in the guys he's had to go
rookies
the last in a 5-day span. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just like, damn.
And he lost. You know what? He lost a rep early and didn't lose another one. Remember, Chris Jones beat him with quickness right away. It's Chris Jones, but then he came back and dominated him.
Yeah, if you only gonna lose 10% time to Chris Jones, man, it's an amazing day. I got Kavontae Turpin too. The obvious one we'll all think about is the fumble recovery, but. No, he actually had a bounce back game just in general. 5 touches for 60-some yards. And, big plays, 19-yard reception, a 25-yard run, 33 yards on the ground, only 28 yards in the air, but it was from 2 receptions. So a lot of first downs out of those 5 touches. He was very productive in his minimal touches and it mattered too. I remember that 25-yard run, the Cowboys were trying to get something going. Boom, they spring it open. And you know what I loved? Again, goes back to Shotty and the coaching aspect. We all agree, like, all right, look, appreciate the attempt to try to get him involved down the field or as a regular receiver. They're not doing that, or at least they didn't do that in this game. They said back to jet sweeps, tosses out the backfield. We're not running you like a running back. We're getting you in space, getting you the ball right now so you can be a returner on offense. So shouts out to them for learning from that and hopefully moving forward the same way. So, yeah, I got Turpin, man. I thought just falling on that fumble was huge, and his 53 yards were huge. Couple big plays. I mean, and if we're going to give Hunter Lipke, you got to go with the guy he sprung it for, as you say, Foots, Malik Davis. I mean, that was huge.
Especially at that time too. It was 14-10. Yeah, it was 14-10 Kansas City at that time. Late in the second quarter. That was big.
Put him ahead, yeah.
I mean, honestly, the one thing that I've been asking for with this offense is just another back who can come in and do exactly that. Just change the pace up. It's almost like they don't even trust anybody else. So the fact that Malik's starting to get carries, he's hitting it. Like when you're the 2 back, that's how you need to run. You need to come in, hit it. It's no dancing. It's get what you can get. Be that change of pace, and he did a great job. No dancing, A-gap run, and he hit his head on the goalpost. That was a great play.
Helps on special teams.
Didn't he go down and make a tackle afterwards?
Yeah. Next play.
Football player, man.
Yeah.
Gotta love that type of stuff. Yeah. Let's talk to the
team at the beginning of the season.
Where was he? Was he? He was off the team.
He was, yeah. I don't think he was on any team.
3-4 times this year.
Yeah.
Talk about never giving up, bro. That's life, bro. Just keep pushing.
Yeah, it was like one of those. I want to say might have been their last preseason game where it's one of those where like they need another running back because they don't have enough to basically just get carries so you can get through a preseason game. And he kind of turned their heads with some stuff he did in that game, and kind of the rest is history. So, and then also obviously Jaden Blues left the door open,
Wide open.
That's an off-season conversation.
Well, speaking of doors on that though, is it completely closed for you guys, or do you think that there's a chance that like in one of these next 5 games that
this year?
Yeah, this year that he could do something, or you guys already closed that door?
That's a good question.
They closed it, right?
Yeah, they might have. Yeah.
Well, Izzy, right? We're bringing in Izzy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know a lot about him. I don't know if you guys want to talk about him or not.
I think it's closed because of Malik.
Think so, Scott?
Yeah, Shotty's been around Malik for a few years, so he knows who he is as a person, a player, what he just did, right? It was always surprising to me that he never got a little bit more opportunity, because when the dude had to step up a couple years ago, was it 23, 22? He was pretty damn solid. It was just shocking to me that he never got another opportunity. But I just think he trusts him more, and they don't trust Blue right now.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't know why. It's unfortunate with Blue because the opportunity was there. You know what I mean? Like, you had it, you didn't make the most of it. And that's the draft. And that's how it is. I think it's probably closed as well, John, just because like the margin for error, like you can't have a fumble. You can't have a missed block, you know what I mean? Something like that. And
I just think of that offense. Like, I'm just saying, like, for myself, if I was in that situation, man, I'd be so upset, because it's like, it's not like you're with the Titans. Like, you're with a team where it's like they got everything on this offense, and you can just be this like change of pace home run hitter. Like, there's so many big plays for you out there. It's a good situation. So,
hey, I keep picking over and seeing y'all having fun with Israel's last name.
Oh yeah.
I saw Israel, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Israel Anaconda.
Yes, somebody said, do we see the comments? We definitely do see the comments, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot to get to today.
Yeah, we can't.
There's only one.
Yeah,
we
can't
stop after
just do comments all day. I tell people all the time, if we did that, it wouldn't be a show. It'd just be reading comments all day.
And we got 700 people here. We have to get to everything to make sure you guys are covered. All right, we'll run the ad. Real quick, Unsung Heroes doesn't have to be long on defense. I'll go for me. I can't really say I'll just say I like this that we aren't talking. I wasn't even gonna say. I was gonna say Savon Ravel. He's not giving up plays, like you said. I mean, I don't see like all pro tape, but it's like, man, he's out there.
Don't let me be the homer.
I'm gonna just slow down. He's gonna be one of those ones, John. What I'm doing, I'm just like,
if Foots is slowing down, and I'm slow. All right.
How many top corners are? How many top?
I'll wait for you to do it so I can jump.
You go crazy. Say it again, John. I'm sorry.
How many top corners are running around with a knee brace on? I mean, so when he gets that thing taken off, he'll be fine.
Different.
But remember, Sky. So let's talk about it, y'all. I'm taking a play out of your book, Sky, because like, don't put too much on him. They like, man, you good, go.
Yep. 95% of the snaps in this last. They said you got 1 game, 2 games. All right, that's enough. It's yours.
Running with speed guys, Sky.
Against the Eagles
guys.
I'm trying to just chill out, but yes. Yep, really good corner, man. I'm gonna just leave it at that for right now. But boy, by the end of the season, I might be on some crazy talk. I got Sam Williams, man. Didn't play a lot of snaps, but he maximized his snaps.
I literally said to somebody in the press box, I was like, man, this seems like one of Sam Williams' best games. Am I wrong in this? Like, it just seemed like he flashed the most I've seen in a while. That's a great pick.
Him with Clowney out. Good call.
You're gonna need him.
That's a great pick.
Y'all like Red? I love Reddy Store. I don't know what it is about Reddy.
I like him too.
I don't know what it is. When he's in there, it's like he's around the ball.
But see, my problem was when we signed him or picked him up off waivers, I went and looked at his Bears tape, and I was like, we sure he shouldn't be playing right now?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Diggs, I think at the time it was Diggs, Bland. I'm like, put them up in the slot. And he's been a steady presence. Has he been perfect all year? No, but he knows Matt's defense, and you see it. We've talked about it here. Every week, he was the only one that felt like he knew what the hell was going on out there for a while.
Yeah.
Because the defense is different. The assignments, what they ask these guys to do in this zone is different. Now you're starting to see these guys all get it, but I think Stewart was kind of that steady hand.
No, I completely agree. We're gonna run the ad, quick talk about the Lions, and then we'll let you guys get to Hard Knocks because I'm gonna be watching it as well. So run the Sleeper ad right about now.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code HMA. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
But you funny, man.
What I do?
That's how because Foots be like, all right, man, y'all, it's time to run this contractual obligation we have with this sponsor partnership that we have to. Foots will hit you with the, hey, man, let me set you up with the teaser for the ad. We got this contractual obligation. Go ahead and press the button that plays it. Go ahead, bow.
Well, you know, Scott, I'm just like all these other fans. This is like a game for me. I didn't watch America's Team, but I'm about to watch this Hard Knocks because I love the way they shooting in. We had 700 people in here. People about to go watch this joint for sure. People before they go to bed. So, Lions talk. I'll say this, in a nutshell, because we don't have to stay here long, guys. This Lions team is reeling, but they're still good. And this is so we came into this and it was like this 3-game stretch was like, can we go 2-1? Can we go 3-0? I feel really good about this game, but there's also ways that you could lose it. One of my ways is you cannot let Jahmyr Gibbs have a bunch of explosives. It starts. I'm not gonna say it ends with Jahmyr Gibbs. You need to get him to the ground. What do you guys see with this Lions offense? It doesn't have to be long-winded, but what do you guys see with this Lions offense?
I agree with you. I think that would be their path to victory, is because they don't just hand it to him. Like, they can do a lot of short pass stuff in the flat that he can just turn into these monster plays. So if you're on the same page there and you can keep him in check, you're in a great spot, because it just doesn't look like Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to play in this game. And even if he did, he's not going to be anywhere close to 100%. And they don't really have for Jared Goff, like, his #1 is Amon-Ra St. Brown, and his #2 is really Sam Laporta, and he's out. And so now they have Jameson Williams, and he can make big plays happen, and he can beat you. But he's now got to be their #1. And even like their other tight end, Brock Wright, it doesn't look like he's going to play in this game. So they're really challenged with their offensive weapons. And so because of that, I just don't see them scoring a ton of points if you don't have the big plays from Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, for me, last week was all about clipboard warriors in regards to like schematics and X's and O's, the personnel matching up and all that stuff, because I thought you were going up against master degree guys and then a wizard at quarterback. In this game, is for me, it's more about you're going up against a very desperate team, a team who has a coach who will lead he will literally put on a suit if you're, a uniform and go out there and play if you could. And the big one for me is it's on the road. We have checked every box right now, right? You had a tragedy. First game after the tragedy, passed it. Amazing. You got a game against the Eagles where division rival, you have to win. Come back past it. A game where you have not won this type of game in a very long time against Super Bowl type of quarterback, Hall of Famer, and 2 great clipboard warriors. Won it, past it. The next step, can you beat a desperate, still solid team on the road? Because in order to get where you want to go, whether it's the playoffs or beyond, you're going to have to play all of your games on the road 9 times out of 10. Now that could change though if you win the division, but that's a different story. But the odds are you may possibly be on the road. So you don't have many more tests left on the road. I think this is your biggest road test. You're from Detroit. That stadium gets ridiculous. Like, it kind of reminds me of what the Vikings can get like when they're playing well. They're a tough team and desperate team. And you're going up against a coach who is going to try to put a hole through the wall to beat you. So if they can match that energy, I think the Cowboys are better than this team from a talent standpoint across the board. I don't really know where. Now, granted, you might say safety or this and that, but just in general, collectively, altogether, this team is better than that team. But that's a desperate team. This is the NFL. That's a coach that's going to pull out all the tricks. Fake field goal, fake punt, fourth down, all of that stuff is happening. If the Cowboys match that, I think they can walk away with the victory. And I think we are fortunate to have a coach who will damn sure match Dan Campbell's energy and Shoddy.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't seen is our team be just completely flat. And that I maybe a few times this year, but
the road is been weird. It's been weird, but
and that's a shout out to, like you said, to Shoddy.
Very good test on the road.
Very good. I think that the offense will move the ball. Amik Roberts, the corners that they're going to be playing, like we said, the Rocky Sin, maybe DJ Reader's on the D line.
They have a DJ Reed and a DJ Reader. Yeah,
it's tough. But those guys can't run with our guys. It's not going to happen. Like you went through your toughest cornerback test these last 2 games. These guys can't run with your guys. And Amik Roberts is little. He's scrappy, but he's little. Like you said, Sky, you can't. I don't think that you can have turnovers in this game. Can't have the dumb turnovers. You don't really want to have turnovers in any game, but definitely don't want to have it and get him short field and stuff like that because they'll take those play action shots. But then also, I think on offense, if you can prove that you can run the ball versus this team,
it's a good run defense.
And exactly, but if you can run the ball and keep them honest, Sky, with those backers, and like you said, they very blitz heavy. I like their DC, by the way, Sky. If you can do that, I think that the offense will move the ball.
I will say this about running the ball. Now, the Cowboys have had success on some good run defenses, but they also have had some bad games, right? Denver comes to mind. Panthers come to mind. Even if it's not clicking, I think we said this before. I think the Denver game, you still want to show the run action. You still want to get out. If you go look at the Giants were able to get up like they were able to get up. They kept running the ball. The Packers, they didn't have crazy run days, but they ran a lot. I think both ran the ball over 30 times. So I'm not saying Dallas has to go that far. They don't have a Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, Jake Ferguson. They don't got that. But I don't. And you know what's crazy now? Think about it. I don't think I've ever really come out of a game like, man, we just completely abandoned the run consecutively like we've done over the years. I think if it is tough to run the ball, they'll still do it. Javonte Williams averaged 3.5 yards per carry last game. Yeah. Still ran the ball 17 times. By himself. The Cowboys ran it over about 25 roughly times. So if the Cowboys can hit that 23, 26, carry number, that keeps them on track. It keeps them, where they want to be to run the play action, things like that. And every year, nothing changes, in my opinion, with how these linebackers play in Detroit. And shouts out to Kelvin Shepard. This is a guy I had highlighted a few years ago. Very aggressive and downhill. Play action has killed this team for years. Keep running play action against these aggressive linebackers. It's a good unit, but they are so overly aggressive, man, that it's going to be trouble. They can't guard us in the back end, but if you get these linebackers to step up, that middle of the field is going to be there for the shots.
Yeah. John, you got anything to
add? Hate to be a downer about this, but I got 30 years of thoughts on this, and I'm nervous that they're going to win this game and they're going to drop something that you just have no business dropping, like to the Giants, Washington or something. That has been so much of their DNA. And so I thought of it when Sky was saying about the next test, like the winning on the road. The next one after that would be taking care of business against, those other teams, because you win this Detroit game, like, you're pretty much in the driver's seat in all those other games that are coming up. The Chargers are not what we thought they were. Who knows what's going on with Herbert and his non-throwing hand, but the Vikings are clearly not what we thought they were going to be. And obviously neither is Washington, and the Giants have been what the Giants have been, but you just cannot lay an egg in one of those games coming up, especially if you win this Detroit game, because you've set yourself up too well to drop one of those. You know what I'm saying?
So
go ahead.
I'll say this. John has been. That's the reason why I'm so like melancholy. The only thing and kind of stoic with this thing is you can stop the run and you can run the ball.
And you can get down by 3 scores and still come back, which is
and you can do that. And you can do that.
Yeah.
I will say this, John. That's crossed my. I'm glad you brought this up, and we'll end on this note.
I do
when
want to bring up what John said. Something he said too.
Okay, I'll let you in this guy. This is how I look at teams when I'm looking at them, though, John. What does their offensive line look like when we're playing them? What does their defensive line look like? And the teams that we play the rest of the way, right? You're going to be hard pressed to find any team that has both of those units completely locked in at the times we play them. Now, they could go out and go crazy on you, and that happens in football. But that's been, in my mind, how you get through.
I think what John is referring to is like letdown games. And the Cowboys have had them, it's definitely in the McCarthy era. As you were talking about that, something registered to me, though. This team has never been in this situation with this particular type of team, meaning when they had those letdown games, you know, some games that come to mind, the Cardinals, 2021, where I thought our offense was wonky, team was a little weird. We knew we were going to the playoffs. You lost to a playoff team. That was your last test because you played a bunch of bums the rest of the way. I think there was another game in 23. Oh, Miami and Buffalo. You lost to playoff teams on the road. It was like, that was kind of our last real like test. They did play Detroit at home. It was a weird game too, but it's like, man, those are, you know, good teams right there on the road. You lost those. Those teams were a little comfy to me. They were 12-5 teams at that point in time. They probably already had 8-9 wins. They felt high and mighty. Where this team is desperate. We haven't seen a Cowboys team that's been desperate, that has been infused with life in the middle of the year. Like with this type of life. I don't recall. They never made this type of move. They brought in a Hankins, but they never brought in a Quentin Williams to give you that type of life. And they are already in playoff mode. So you're right. The letdown games always made sense and easy to predict because they've always been in that situation where, we're good. We're high and mighty. We're first seed, second seed, number one offense, defense is number one in turnovers. We're going to the playoffs. They're fighting for 1 and 2 seed. They're not fighting for their lives. So if it's going to be a letdown, maybe it's a letdown in the sense of just a hard-fought, gritty loss as opposed to Denver Broncos, as opposed to the Cardinals. That was embarrassing. You know, granted, it wasn't, the score won't show it, but that was just a bad game. So you're not wrong, but something is different about this team and the situation they're in, and then how they're built. And that goes back to Foots' point. You can run the ball, you can stop the run. You couldn't do any of those things on top of being a letdown team. So this is a very fascinating game. If they can push through and not let down over the next couple of weeks, I think we can end the discussion. This is a different team.
Yeah. And even a team like the Commanders, like late in the season, I'm gonna just be honest. I don't think they can stop this offense. Like living in DC, knowing that team.
Oh no, but we've seen these games where
for sure.
Yeah, it's beyond.
It doesn't land on that Pickens fumble type stuff where you're just like, I can't believe he fumbled right there. Or you know, Ferguson fumbles here and then they don't, whatever, and all of a sudden it's like a short field and now they're up 14-0. You're like, how did this happen? This team's not even good, you know.
Perfect example. Last game of the year in Washington. Dak pick six, trying to go after the quarterback or the corner twice in a row, just whooped, and it just whooped you. Now that was the same year you went into the playoffs and won a playoff game, but that type of weird stuff just happens. You are a way better team than the Commanders. They're a terrible team, and you lost to them. So I think that's what he's getting at. Not that we aren't better than these teams, but we just saw the Panthers beat the Rams. You know what I'm saying? Not saying the Panthers are a bad team, but these things have been happening this year, man. Really, really.
There's no like, who's the best team in football?
There's no dominant team.
Not one.
It was probably
the Patriots, but I wouldn't even
be the Patriots.
I wouldn't. I could. Patriots will lose the first round, and I love Drake May, but their strength of schedule, you can see that.
Productive wise, like the 110 in a row, you can say that's dominant.
Yeah,
but it's also like, am I scared of it?
Exactly. Like, okay, I look at it like this: if Houston had to go to Foxborough, they could win that game with that defense easily. You know what I mean? If the Chiefs snuck in and had to go to Foxborough,
I like Drake May more than I like CJ.
Oh, I love Drake May, but I also think that, man, that Houston defense probably the best unit in the league.
It is, but that Patriots defense is good.
It's pretty good.
It'll still be hard
the
for
best run defense
to go win in Green Bay or in Philadelphia in January. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's not; those are not going to be easy games for whoever has to do that. I actually is the team that's probably playing the best in the NFC is probably the Rams. And I don't even think that about them because I just know how SoFi is and how your team can easily take that place over and it's inside. It's like the perfect elements for whoever, but playing at Philadelphia, maybe at Seattle, but really it's at Philadelphia and at Green Bay. Those could be weather conditions, could be real. I mean, just things that change the game that you don't necessarily expect at the time,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. No, if New England lost in the first round or Denver lost in the first round, no, I wouldn't.
Not a shocker.
No.
But if there is any team I think equipped to go to Philly in the playoffs, it'd be Dallas. Like, they're not scared to play them boys up there.
Honestly, I don't think the Rams are either. If you go off of that game last year, the Rams outplayed what I thought they were, and I think the Rams are a better team this year. So that really surprised me. I thought the Rams would go in there and just get punked because it's like, oh, here's this indoor team likes to throw it around, and it was like, man, they were going toe to toe with them for really.
I thought they were going to drive down and win that game, John.
Yeah,
pissed me off.
Absolutely,
they might have their number. Seriously.
Hey man, what a great show! Let's get to these supers, and we will let you guys go. See you all next week. Here we go. The DNs and the linebackers have to set the edge. I have faith that they will be able to get pressure to Goff. 88 and 3 about to feast on the outside. Yep, I agree. Thank you for that.
Doesn't take much to get pressure on Goff. He's not going to fight through much, and if you just get around him, he's probably going down. I mean, he is
100%.
There's not a comp to Jared Goff when it comes to like pressure. Like there's
Peyton
not
Manning.
really. Maybe, but I even think Peyton Manning would at least get the ball out. Like you get around him, and he just is boom to the ground.
I remember the years him and Eli would just drop. They just like, that's over.
Yep.
Just drop.
And it's so crazy because like that type of quarterback is not in anymore.
You can't.
Right.
The league is too fast.
Yeah.
You have to. But the thing is, if you put a really good offensive line in front of him, you don't have your center retire in June. Then all of a sudden he's lethal. Then if you keep pressure off of him. But if you get anywhere close to him, he goes down pretty easy.
John has spoken like the true Lions fan he is. Lukey. I had to get that jab in there. Lukey needs some playing time. Thank you for that, Sydney. John, are you a true Lions fan?
I mean, I grew up a Lions fan. It's tough to be that way, like when you cover another NFL team, because you just can't watch them like that. You can't be around it.
I always wondered about that with y'all.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times one's playing, the other one you're on deadline, you're writing it. So I mean, I still follow them. I certainly root for them because of the fact that there's nothing I would love more than to see the city of Detroit get a Super Bowl.
Hometown. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably the biggest thing. I mean, obviously, I grew up. A lot of my friends are diehard Detroit sports fans, and it's not like they have a lot of, Detroit just hasn't won a lot of championships, So
see, I think about that with journalists, and I think about that with referees. Like, I couldn't be a referee because if I'm reffing a Cowboys game, y'all gonna put me in jail. They're gonna be like, why does referee throw 25 flags against the opposing team?
The only thing I'll say,
Scott Donahue.
This is the only thing I'll say. Yeah, your first couple years, probably, I agree with you on that. But I'm telling you, if you're reffing for like 10, 15 years and you've had all these Cowboys fans, MF you, and Cowboys players like jaw with you about things like that, it starts wearing away to where you're, like they say, you see how the sausage is made, where you're just like, yeah, it's not whatever. This isn't all the rainbows and butterflies like you think it is. Like there's stuff behind the scenes that it's not as glamorous as you think. I could see it wearing down on you where you're like, I mean, yeah, if the Cowboys win, that's great, but I'm not the fan I used to be because I'm around this all the time.
Yeah, after they win, because it's already worn down on me. I'm 30 years into this thing, right? In regards to a drought. So I'm going to cheat my way into the Super Bowl, then I'll let it wear down on me if I'm referee.
Somebody said in the comments, root for the team that pays you. Stuff like that is wild to me that like in this day and age that people still think that like I don't get a penny from the Dallas Cowboys. Like there's no interaction with the Dallas Cowboys at all.
Yeah, you don't have to be a fan of the team you cover.
I'm trying to think of like, okay, the benefits are like, okay, so I'll give you, benefits are like this week, there's limited of nicer hotels in Detroit. And so I can stay at the team hotel for the team rate, which is probably saves me about, I don't know, like $100, I guess, per night. So that's one benefit, but like, meals, food, all that stuff, the travel, all that, that's all the Athletic is the one that pays for it. And they're going to pay for it whether I cover the Cowboys or I cover the Rams or the Lions or whoever. So it's not like I'm getting any money from the Cowboys, And to be honest with you, I used to do podcasts for the Cowboys that if I worked anywhere else, I could have been paid. but I can't take money from the team. So I was doing them for free for a lot of them. Like if I told you how much money I didn't take, like you'd be
Media match
surprised.
is
So,
free.
yeah. So anybody that thinks that I get paid by the Cowboys, the only word to describe that for me is laughable.
John's just a man of the people, so y'all enjoy him. Stop with the trolls, all right? We are thankful to have John Machota over here. We're paying him. Y'all, YouTube paying him. Y'all leave my man alone. Now, Shotty can't make play calling mistakes early, take motivation away from team, put points on the board based on the flow of the game, let the defense play, be aggressive offensively if the game dictates. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that 3-minute drive that you put, because they still had timeouts.
Always offensively.
What do you say, Scott?
Be aggressive always offensive, not if the game dictates.
Yeah, you should always want to score. Yeah,
yeah,
you should always offense. But to me, it's just, yeah, I'm the only thing I'll be watching, like I've been watching all year, is just red zone, seeing how he calls it down there. I thought he did a better job this week, but I just want to see it, you know. So if that's all, guys, thank you for this super. What a great show. Everybody have a great night. Cows win. I think the Cows are going to beat the Lions. I got 31-21. That's my score. John, you got a
31-27 Cowboys, I think. Something like that.
I'll go 27-23 Dallas.
All right. Let's see if we can get this and bring this home and then go on this playoff run. Love you all from the best podcast in the world. John Machota, Skywalker Steele Law. We miss you. See you on the next one, guys. Peace.
Peace.